Hi, my name is Chelsea, or Chang Si Gu. Today I'm going to talk about my life. 你好，我的名字叫顾成思. I was born in Nanjing, China, May 27th, 1987. That's southern China, and I lived there till I was 6 years old with my mom, my grandparents. My dad left for the States early to work on his master's degree. I was 6 years old when I came to the United States. I lived with my mom and my dad in small apartments, and I had a pretty happy life in Salt Lake City, Utah. This was at. I played with my cousins, and my aunt and uncle were living there, and we had a pretty happy life together. We would make trips, and I'm very grateful to them for what they did because they brought a lot of happiness to my family that couldn't have happened without them. When I was 10 years old, my parents decided to get a divorce for a myriad of reasons, and my dad came to New York to look for a job. My mom thereafter came after him, and she brought me along with him to finalize the divorce. And it was a very hard and troubling time for me because I was in a lot of turmoil inside. I didn't know what was going on, why they were getting divorced, and why I had to choose. I had to write a letter to a judge, and I felt so hurt because I chose to be with my mom because I had to make a choice. They were getting a divorce, and I felt like I would be missing my dad a lot, and it's true. For the next maybe 10 or 11 years, I didn't have a relationship with him, and I see that this was just my fate and my destiny and how God works in His way to make me who I am today. When I was 13, I developed bulimia. I had anorexia too. My eating disorder was very, very severe. And for the next 7 years, it was like this. I was institutionalized in a school upstate New York where they offered me treatment, and I would stay there and be with other girls around my age who also had similar issues. That didn't help, unfortunately. In the end, I still felt very alone and empty, and like I was seeking something, and I was never full, even with people living with me in a house, and I always had companionship and staff around me. I just never felt easy. I never felt relaxed. I never felt like I had companionship. I never felt like I was with people who understood me and who loved me for me. This was a similar case in Connecticut when the first school didn't work out. I was sent away to Connecticut, and for 3 months I didn't return home. They had us locked down in order to treat my bulimia, but in the end I still wasn't cured, and I was lost, and I felt alone and empty and weak once again after all this time and all this money.
How old are you at this time?
I'm 22 years old right now.
No, but how old are you when you have all this experience?
Right up until now, I'm 18 years old. 18 to 19 years old.
What about the previous experience with Christianity?
Oh, yes. When I was 10 years old, I was sent away to a Christian camp in order to put faith in me, I think. My mother's friend wanted to give me a Christian faith because I wasn't religious at all. And I was baptized at the camp. I felt one with Jesus. I loved Jesus. I felt like He would save me from eternal hellfire and gave me salvation. But when I went home, my mother said, you can't love Jesus. You have to love me. And that broke my heart. I was heartbroken, so sad, and felt alone once again after my parents' divorce and some struggles.
What about the Catholic experience?
Oh, yes. Catholicism came once again into my life. I was accepted into a Catholic college because when I was away at Connecticut, one of the girls who was a staff there, she said, you should apply and come to my school. It's called so and so in Massachusetts, and it was a very nice school. It was a beautiful campus, very helpful people, very good, prominent children from good homes and families who had grown up happy and, from what I could see, intact and whole. But I don't know why, amidst all this wealth and all this company and all these children, I felt alone. And I couldn't communicate with but one friend. And we pretty much spent all our time together. But in the end, for reasons, God willing, I dropped out. And I wasn't able to continue the Catholic faith in that way.
What was missing at this time?
What was missing was love and understanding and compassion for myself, I think, and for others. And I was extremely naive, and I was searching for love and a purpose in material things and worldly things, not in godly things. And I couldn't find it anywhere.
But the environment did not help you?
The environment was a pretty environment. It was a beautiful environment. But I had seen these environments before. For example, when I was younger, my family and I would travel around the country. We went to Yellowstone, we went to Grand Canyon, Arches National Park, Seattle, Las Vegas, and all these places are beautiful, same as my school. But in the end, I was lacking something, and it fundamentally I was missing something from the Creator. I didn't believe in Allah at that time. I had no idea about Islam. Islam is maybe the only religion that was never presented to me.
But let's go back again when you was 18 in Canada.
Oh, well, I felt much like a prisoner. Even though the environment was beautiful, we had trees, we had grass, we had little kittens even. We had a fountain, we had a beautiful wooden house, 2 levels. We would have therapy in these very beautiful, elaborate rooms, very rich, very lush, very luxurious. It was like a vacation spot. Like many of the parents, they would come and visit their children who were there, like me. My mom would come and visit, and she would say, wow, this is just like a vacation. And it's hard for me to understand what they meant, but I know what they meant. They were looking at the material things, and I wasn't. Something else was lacking. I had material things before, and I still felt empty. I was still searching. After Connecticut, immediately I left out of I was doing some bad things there, and I wasn't following the program, so I felt like I couldn't face myself there anymore, so I left the program and everybody who was trying to help me there. And I took up a job waitressing, and in the first week I met my trainer, and he became my first serious boyfriend for the next 2 years, almost exactly 2 years. At first I felt madly in love with him because I thought that was it. He was my life. He was the one. But in the end, it was all empty because our relationship, it was based, for me, it was probably based in money and in him being a man, but not in anything else. I didn't search for him, and I wish I had, because I felt like he really is a good person, but I missed that. I didn't know what I was looking for. I was still looking for material things. I was still looking for the money and the drugs we were doing and his status in terms of like his friends and because he was older than me, and so he was a supervisor in different restaurants and he was a manager in different restaurants, and I loved him for that and not for his soul or his heart or and I miss that to this day. It's a sad thing that I missed out on, but God willing, it led me to other things, and it's made me a stronger person, I think.